welcome to the show, Woody.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate. Back down, fat boy over.
Yeah, nice.
Play on, mate.
Take the whole thing off. Look at that.
Yeah, look at this.
How am I going?
Take it off there, mate.
Look at that.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Well, welcome to the best show in the world, mate.
I've heard so much about it, and finally I'm a guest and your first show here at Colonial Brewery. I feel very privileged.
Thanks.
Look, Colonial Brewing has put on a bit of a spread for us today.
They have.
And we're glad to have you down early because we know you love the show. So
I do love the show. I was a little reluctant to come on because you boys are rat bags. I don't know where this is going to go, but yeah, it's good to be here.
We'll look
Well,
after you.
Be here.
mate, let's start with you, obviously, because you are the star. We're stars
I'm not a
also.
star, but anyway, you go on.
Mate, but your journey you've been on. So,
Yes.
where
What
did you
a
start?
roller coaster, eh?
Where did you start?
Well, I started working with you, Jossie, as a personal
Oi.
trainer at my gym. And that was less than 5 years ago, and since then some fair bits happened.
Yeah.
Went on The Bachelor, met Snez, met Eve, fell in love with both of them. The girls moved to Melbourne, we got engaged, we got married, and now we've had 2 more girls. I was writing an article yesterday about how much life has changed as a dad, and just makes you reflect back on what a wild 4.5 years it's been, and now obviously The Bachelor's back on TV, so everyone comes out of the woodwork and asks you about it and says, do you pinch yourself and can you believe it? And I really can't. I mean, I went on that show hoping to meet someone and hoping it would be good for my business. And I met my wife, I met my little girl Evie, we've now had 2 more kids, we've gotten married.
Oh.
I've started 28.
I'm getting tingles right now. I'm getting tingles.
This is
one of the great
crazy.
success
Crazy.
stories. It's one of the great success stories after the show because there's been a few seasons now, and you see the ups and downs of all the people that have been on it, including contestants, including the people that are the actual bachelor or bachelorette.
Yeah,
and you've actually you came to the other end with an unbelievable family. So it's a good story.
So I went on The Bachelor the season after Blake.
Yeah, so
and that was a bit of a
no
train wreck.
pressure, no pressure at
That was
all.
a bit of a disaster.
It's only uphill from there, I believe.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember ringing the old man and telling him what I was going to do, and my dad does not watch reality TV. Even he'd heard of the Blake debacle. He's like, oh, after that other bloke, I don't know about that, mate.
Yeah.
But couldn't have imagined things would have worked out even half this well, and really, really lucky.
So tell me about how did you audition for the show? What'd you do? What was the step through that?
So I was sitting actually at the gym reception.
I was floating around somewhere
were
probably.
Did you have
probably
something to do
floating
with this, did you?
Well, I feel like she could have
Joss is claiming to be Cuban. It was Kelly that trained with Buff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She used to say, oh, you should go on The Bachelor. Why are you still single? 35-year-old bloke, single.
Good looking.
No, not good looking. A bit lost.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't take no for an answer. She came around behind reception. She got out the keyboard and she Googled Bachelor 2015 applications or whatever it was, and it came up. And I started filling out this form that seemed to take an eternity to fill out. It's like, oh yeah, this doesn't look too bad. 2 hours later, I was still filling out this form because they really try to get a bit of insight into your personality.
Yeah.
Anyway, sent it off with a photo. The next day, got a phone call saying, we really like your application, we want to do a Skype call. I'm like, geez, that was quick.
Yeah.
So 2 days later or something, jumped on a Skype call for an hour with the studio in Sydney. And about 3 days later, Sam, we loved your application. We want to fly you to Sydney for a panel interview with the cameras on. All this kind of stuff.
Does it get real then? Does it I'm actually up to be a chance here.
I'd never seen the show, so I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. When I say I spoke to my dad, that was after I'd been accepted.
Oh, really?
And I didn't know anything about the show. I'd never seen an episode. And the producers of the show, the executive producer, Sean, who's a ripping fella, said, a bit worried about that, Sammy, because you might not understand how the show works well enough to be able to navigate your way through it because it's pretty full on. And I said, that's fair enough. He said, maybe you should watch a couple of episodes. And then we shot the first episode, and it was also, I don't know, in their words, it was really natural because I didn't come in with preconceived ideas and I wasn't trying to create something that wasn't there. I was just a guy who was looking forward to meeting these girls and seeing what happened, and they love that. They're like, we love it. You're just being normal, you're being yourself, and it's playing out really well because you're doing that. And so I never watched an episode, and
Far
That
out.
13
worked.
crazy
That's
weeks
good though.
later. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean,
That was definitely
retrospectively,
working
it
in
makes
favour.
sense because it meant you could be yourself. Because you do see now a lot of people go on these shows, I believe, to get famous or to get Instagram followers or whatever. It's not necessarily authentically to find someone.
Yeah.
I think you can watch these shows pretty quickly and work out who's there for the right reason and
Yes.
who's
Oh,
not.
mate, like for instance, last night, you can tell who's there to spark ratings because,
Yeah.
like, Married at First Sight, they've kicked off. They've kicked off with,
And they gave the world a lot to talk
And
about,
they all
didn't
get
they?
bundled
yeah.
into one.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird romantic.
You know it's a circus
Yeah.
at the same time.
A
That's
little
exactly
bit, a
right.
little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that people understand that what Snej and I did is quite different to that. And,
Oh, big time. No.
yeah,
of
but
course.
people are still a bit cynical. You know, I remember when we got engaged, people were still
But
a
you're
bit
married
cynical.
now, so it doesn't make
Then we
any
got
sense.
married. Then we started having kids, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think now people are like, oh, actually,
It
they
must be
really
legit.
did fall in
Yeah,
love,
yeah.
and it is.
But you
legit.
guys get on like a house on fire, though.
Yeah, we
Just
do.
like you know each
We
other
do.
for like years before you even met the show.
Yeah, I don't know what I've said this before, but I don't know what would have happened if Snej hadn't been on my season.
Because there was nothing else, was there?
Well, I didn't click with any of the girls like I clicked with her.
Yeah.
Like, I probably, I definitely couldn't have seen myself marrying anyone else.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Snej, it was sort of Snej, and then the blinkers were kind of on, and yeah, the rest is history, eh?
Did you ever think, like, this is something I always find quite interesting, when you're standing up there with a rose and you're speaking to the group of girls, did you ever last minute change your mind about who you're going to give the rose to? Like, and don't have to bring anyone up, but I mean, like, did you just
No,
go,
bring him up. Bring him
did you
up.
ever go, oh, no, actually I'm going there, and just freak out at the last minute sort of thing?
No, I remember having a conversation with the guys after the first episode, and they were like, Sam, you're obviously going to have to say goodbye to 3 or 4 girls tonight. And I said, you go with your gut in these situations, and I'd be very surprised if the last 3 or 4 girls I didn't already know.
Yeah.
And they were like, really? And I said, yeah, I just reckon you know it's not different to real life. You know, like if you meet someone and have a conversation with them, you know whether they're just a really nice person that perhaps you could be friends with, or if that could be something more.
It's not,
And
you
there
know
were
straight.
3 or 4 girls that I'd had conversation with on that first cocktail party. I was like, there's something pretty special about you, and I'd
Yeah.
like to get to know you more. And I'd be really surprised if anyone else sort of came up out of the woodwork that sort of, wasn't in the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
4, and it panned out that way. Apart from Lana, who came in really late, the last 3 girls were 3 of those 4.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you stand there when you meet all the girls. Do they have to make like an impression of like for you to even remember them? You know how they come, you stand. Is that awkward or how does
Yeah,
that
well,
feel?
it's really hard
you've
at
never
first.
met
And
them for
when there's
bars.
25 girls and you're trying to remember everyone's name.
Is that hard?
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so full on. You just, you've had a few beers, you've had a few glasses
I'd
of
be
champagne.
worried about that. I
Oh,
had a
you
few
would
beers
be,
and just
so-
ruin it.
And that's about, I mean, we sit here in the brewery, it's probably quite fitting, but you want to calm your nerves a bit.
Of course, but you
But
don't
at the
almost
same time, you don't want to
overcompensate.
be, half drunk and not remember the girl's name. Like,
Yeah.
you're always trying to put yourself in their situation and go, this is not just this full on for me, it's this full on for them. And I remember realising what Snej had left, leaving Evie back home in Perth with my now parents-in-law, thinking, here I am thinking how hard this is for me. What a
Imagine
joke.
her.
Yeah.
It would be so hard for you.
Yeah, because now you can relate, I guess.
And now as a dad,
Yeah.
that is 10 times even more apparent to me. Like,
Yeah.
you spend one night away for work from your kids and you miss them like crazy. She was away from me for 13 weeks and
It's a large
they'd
amount of
never
time.
had a day
Yeah.
apart in their lives.
That's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Mum always used to say, when we're watching The Bachelor, we're a bit of a, we're a Bachelor family. We'd
Bachelor family,
sit
yeah.
down, we watch
Get
it.
everyone together.
Family
I
affair.
remember Mum saying to me, she's like, Sam's always got he's always got the perfect answer, doesn't he? I'm like, I don't know how it is. It's just something about him. He always had such a good answer.
But you think before you speak,
Isn't
though.
that
Well,
like,
that's
Yeah.
most people should just.
when the camera's in your face, it must be difficult sometimes to, say you're on a date with someone and you want it to be as natural as you can. Is it hard to find the words you want to say when that's happening, or did you get used to it?
No, it is, and I mean, you get thrown curveballs all the time. I mean, as you said before, in the casting, there's girls that are there for the right reason, then there's girls that I think they know are going to create amazing TV. They're going to be controversial and
say
they're
a
going
few
to
things.
be pretty out there. So when those out there girls say some stuff to you, like I always just stop, think before you speak, be respectful.
Yeah.
no one's on there. There's no point making fun of anyone.
No, of course.
And you're also pretty conscious that you're on national TV.
Yeah.
And this is
nothing slipping past the keeper.
People judge me now based on those 13 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think you want to be really, really proud that you've represented yourself in a way that your parents would be proud of, and your friends would be proud of, and I hopefully think I did that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Well, okay, so you picked snares, all good. How did you hide it? Because obviously the show gets, you know what I mean? Like the show gets, and how long after? There's a big gap, isn't there?
Yeah, 'cause
We had a 5-month
it
gap.
makes it hard.
5 months.
That's difficult.
Oh, well, it was 5 months. It was 5 months from when we finished shooting to when the finale was aired.
Yeah, okay, yep.
And in that 5 months, the paparazzi were camped outside the gym. They were camped outside my house. I remember the paparazzi
That's
were
like the
holding.
gym as well.
I helped out.
You're kidding me?
Yeah, Jossie and I.
Man, Joss has
Listen
he would have
to
walked in
this.
and gone, take a
I
photo
said
of
to
me.
Joss,
This is
I
great.
don't want him to follow me. I don't want him to follow me home. I don't want to know where I live. And Joss said, "What do you want me to do, Woody? What do you want me to do?" You should have seen him. It was like, this is my Batman moment. So Jossie put on sunglasses and a hoodie, and we did a car swap.
But chest out though, chest walking out.
And he jumped in my car and he fangs off, and sure enough, the paparazzi followed him. They speed up down the road, and then I drove Jossie's car home for the night. Big Mercedes.
He would have thought he would go, this is my golden moment. I'm getting my head on the tally.
Yeah.
I get a message from Jossie going, "The suckers!" They followed me all the way home.
I took it all the way around Brighton the whole way through.
We actually so the first day after the finale had aired, Snez and I were in Melbourne because we were on the project.
Yeah.
And it was Snez's first time in Melbourne, and we wanted to have a great time, and I wanted to introduce her to some of my friends.
Yeah.
So Langy, my best mate, and he kind of looks like me, big tall bloke.
Yeah, big good looking rooster.
We did a car swap where he put a hat and sunglasses on, and he drove my car all the way down to Mornington Peninsula Winery. and he had a conga line of paparazzi following him. And then he got out of the car and he went, "Suckers!" And they were like, "Damn it, it's not even him." And meanwhile, Snez and I were having breakfast in a cafe in South Yarra or something. And
You know what?
she's like, "How good's this? They haven't found us." I'm like, "Oh, I might have a little something to do with
As
it."
a paparazzi, you've earned your coin that day. You've really committed to it, isn't it?
They are a pain in the neck, so you don't mind stitching them up.
I remember back in the day, they're actually outside the gym. It was Pro Health Club at the time. The guy would have him in the back seat with a little curtain in his camera crew.
The lengths they go to,
Nice. But the curtain just creeped over. You
And
see the
like,
men's
that's the next thing. Like after you've been on such a big show, it's a national audience, and you go from being Sam Wood, the personal trainer, to
Sam Wood, no one
Sam Wood to
knows.
the Bachelor, and then now after that, anything you do, even when you're with Snez now, anything you do might be on Daily Mail.
Oh,
and
they're
it's
across
taken out
there, right there.
content.
Yeah, boys.
How is that? Like,
Yeah, boys.
Hey, boys, Jossman.
so there is no real privacy when you're out.
And look, it obviously lessens over time, and
Is that hard to adjust to at the start as well?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you literally go from being unknown to being on every billboard, every tram, every train, every TV ad, to being one of the most recognised for a short period of time. But you're so, literally, you cannot walk down the street with being
you
asked
say
for a
that.
photo or a selfie or whatever.
Because I'm actually in the Women's Weekly with Sam Wood. Did you know that?
Oh, here we go.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Not on your
Joss
bedroom
has
wall.
hijacked this interview.
Any chance he gets.
This is 5 times Joss pretended to be the Bachelor.
Yeah. So I was actually in Women's Weekly. Could you believe it?
I'm not really.
Actually, I've got the magazine in the car.
Never leave home without it.
Oh, I laminated
You
it.
actually showed that to the girls before we got the gig here.
Oi, Women's Weekly.
Yeah.
But it's full on because there's nothing can prepare you for that. I remember the producers again, and they're really good because they look after you and they go, however you think it's going to be, times it by 10.
Yeah,
And
far
I'm like,
out.
oh no, I think it's going to be pretty full on. They're like, times it by 10.
At least they're honest.
And it was times by 10?
Probably times by 50. Like you can't. People yell, oh, Batchy, and because at first you're just the Batcher, you're that guy, they don't even know your name, and then they feel like they get to know you. Like even now, like I'll be walking with Willow down to the shops in Elwood or something near where we live, and there'll be people come up and go, oh Willow, you're so cute,
So
and they just know through social media or
And they feel like I'm almost emotionally
through
connected to you.
Who magazine, or, like whatever it's from. But yeah, like they literally feel like they know, which I quite like. It's quite nice that people are so lovely to you and your family, but it's definitely an adjustment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it takes a bit of adjustment, but it's the hardest thing I've ever done, and it's the best thing I've ever done. And when you look at how things have panned out with my 4 girls, you wouldn't swap it for anything in the world.
No, it's awesome. I think And that's the next thing. Like you move on to you're probably the only bachelor that we've had, I think, that has moved out of sort of being the bachelor, and now you're Sam Wood with your 28 and the fitness guru in Australia.
So there's been a transition there. I mean, the great thing for me, everyone sort of says, how did the Bachelor help with the success of the business? And of course it does, because you get such great exposure. But the great thing for me is I'm doing what I've always done. I've been a personal trainer for 19 years. I'll probably be a personal trainer for the next 19 years. Yeah. Which means you're not trying to be something you're not.
Exactly right.
I went to university, and I've got the runs on the board in that space. I didn't go, since the Bachelor I should go out and become a personal trainer and try and turn that into a business. I think if you've got the authenticity, people are not dumb. They see through that, and it's what I love doing. I've worked my butt off with 28. It's become something really, really special. We've had 150,000 people do my program in 3.5 years.
That's unbelievable.
It's grown out of control, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's it's our whole family. Snez does the program, and obviously she does the pregnancy exercises, and she'll start her postnatal workouts in 4 weeks' time. And
it's a domino effect, totally. It's worked in your favour really well.
It's just it's kind of like an extension of my family. It really is.
Well, you've used this. I wouldn't say fame in a positive way, because you've done what you've always wanted to do. You want to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Everyone get fit, healthy, but now you get to use that leverage of everyone knowing you to the whole world. It's actually quite special.
I'm very proud of that. I think
you should be as well.
I don't want to come across arrogant. I just genuinely think you get this opportunity, and you can either stuff it up, or you can use it, and you can use it for your 5 minutes of fame, or you can use it for something good. And the amount of people's lives that I've been able to help through my program is something I'm really proud of.
It's unbelievable, mate.
It's been good.
It's definitely, and I suppose that's almost was a good gap in the market, really, because it hasn't been anything like what you've done in Australia for the target group that you're specifically looking at.
At-home fitness,
and
which has been really popular with mums, is something that we really own, and that was never necessarily the intention. It was all about, I'd always train people in half-hour workouts, HIIT training, so you get really good quick results, make sure you get great nutrition, and I'd always worked with my clients in 28-day blocks, because it's long enough to see results but quick enough to stay focused. And so really 28 just became an online extension of what I'd always done with my face-to-face clients. And then when you get great technology and a really good program and experts in motivation and nutrition to really support me as the fitness guy, it's just turned into something special. And it's driven as much by the 28ers. They support each other. We've got this amazing community. The results that they get, obviously, when they share those results, you get great word of mouth. It's been pretty amazing.
It's got a pretty good Facebook page where everyone comments and shows all their
That page is
powerful.
insane.
It's powerful though. Everyone gets to show their weight loss and everything.
We have my crew. There's 5 customer service people that work Monday to Sunday, night and day, answering people's questions and helping them. And more often than not, they will go to answer a question like, what can I swap this for with a recipe, or how do I upgrade my workout level, or whatever it is. And another 28 has already helped.
And you're really building that community.
And it's all organic. That's not forced. That's I was once where you were, Sally, and I felt exactly the same. You don't need to feel like that. Trust me. Trust the process for 28 days, and you'll never look back. And
it's more powerful than anything.
Of course, I can say how great my program is. If another 28er says that, it's 500 times.
So how good does that make you feel though? The community you've built,
it's the best job in the world. I literally get to go to work every day, work with this great team.
With your dog Hendrix too. Hendrix
with my dog Hendrix.
Sometimes
Willow comes into the office with me.
How special is that though? You get to have your own community, your own family gets to work in the business.
It's the best. And I can go down to Tassie and see my family, and you take your laptop and your phone, you can still do your daily videos, or we can go to Perth for school holidays, so Snez and Evie can see their grandparents and family, and I still go over and work. 28 never sleeps, but the fact that I've got the flexibility to be able to do that from anywhere in Australia is really cool.
It's unbelievable. And your brother Alex, is he still living in Tassie, back in Melbourne?
Alex is back in Tassie. Speaking of bachelors,
is he single?
We should give him a shout out.
We should, absolutely.
Is he still
Alex Wood, we're looking for you, mate.
Alex Wood,
single, sexy, and can skateboard.
This footage is going out to millions of people.
There we go.
He could come to the singles night that's going to be here. We can get Alex down to the singles night down in Colonial.
Actually, I think he's going to be in Melbourne.
Well, next Saturday nights.
Saturday night singles night here. Here is it?
Here, Colonial.
Oh, you guys are running one or the Colonial running?
Well,
We're gonna be
be involved.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
We like to
Interview.
run around and just be pests and see where everyone's
You
up.
do like to do that.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what we're good at. So you're not going to stick
That's
it.
right. That's what you do best.
Yeah.
You can get paid to be pest shooter.
We're getting the best
working
job.
so
We're getting the
far.
best job. We're all winners.
Yeah, it's very
That's
true.
why we're collaborating right
Very
now.
true.
Oh, gee whiz. Thoughts on the rest of your day, mate?
I'm actually, as I sit here drinking a can, back to the office.
Back to the office.
After this one.
Oh, Billy boy!
The cat dragged you.
What a stitch up.
In the neighbourhood.
Oh, where are you? With a rose.
And he's bought himself a rose.
Oh, will you accept this rose?
I said no stitch up. I said I'll come on you, sorry.
There's no
stitch
no
up.
guarantees with that. You know
We're
that.
full of surprises.
You're leaving me hanging.
Well, you got to ask me.
I just did.
Did you? Oh,
I
right.
did.
Sorry. Well, no, I don't think I do accept the bill.
Oh, I'm going.
I'm taking, mate. I'm taking.
We'll sit it
Oh,
here
you're
then.
good, man.
We'll
You're
sit
good,
it.
man.
Bill can take
we
me with him
won't,
to
we won't
Bali.
sit it there
Oh, dear.
because we can't see each
What
other.
are you doing with yourself?
I'm just.
We've actually never met.
We haven't.
But I do know who you are.
First time.
So contestant and the Bachelor. This is two sides of the rose.
Yeah, I'm interested to get a bit of an insight of how it was. On
You've
the
done
other,
it twice, haven't you? Didn't you go on the Paradise one as
He's
well?
done all this, bloke.
It's not his first
I've done it all
rodeo.
except the one you've done.
You're speaking to me because you want to come back as a bachelor as well. You want to do the trifecta.
I think
that been done before?
that's what everyone's doing. 3 shows, isn't it?
No one's done the trifecta, have they? Maybe.
Nah, not the trifecta
No,
like that, but they've doubled up on a couple. A few
I was
have.
lucky I got it right the first time.
Oh, no.
I think you did.
So you're obviously on the show with Ali, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel sitting there waiting for the rose? Because this bloke was giving it, so he's got no idea how you felt. I was to go there.
Yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking.
You're a pretty confident fella.
I was
I
like-
don't think you
Honestly, I was
It
lucky.
was pretty nerve-wracking on you. I was getting one.
Well, I was pretty lucky in the fact that towards the, at the start, most of the rose ceremonies, she gave me a rose pretty early, so I wasn't standing there going, "What's going on?" But then,
And she made you sweat on it, did she?
Yeah, there was I think there was one where they sort of strategically made me sweat a little bit because I was involved in a bit of drama.
Just a little bit, you think.
And I don't like the term, but
Yeah.
runner-up.
Nah, third.
Third, right, okay.
Yeah, it's not a competition.
No.
No, that's all I kept saying. All the boys.
I don't like the term.
All the boys are like,
Backhanded compliment.
it's like you want what you can't have, and it's like a
But did you
competition.
genuinely like her and really wanted to be with her?
I did, yeah.
So you were heartbroken.
I was, and then
Have you spoken to her since?
I haven't. And she's
Because that's a
moved-
question I
she's-
get asked a lot. Do you speak to the other girls?
Yeah. Well, she's
And
moved to Melbourne as well, so
Yeah, right.
I still haven't run into it.
That's interesting, yeah.
Could be a bit awkward, I think.
You're running about everyone else, I think. I watch
Yeah,
your
exactly
Instagram
right.
stories with every other Bachelor contestant that's
I
ever
went
been.
into Morris Jones not long ago as well. That was a good time.
Phil's all around
So it was a
Melbourne.
good time.
He's a Melbourneite. He loves,
exactly
loves the
right.
city, doesn't he?
Now,
That's it.
we have a story for you, mate.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously our radio show's blown up.
Taken off.
And here we are right now.
Taken off.
Colonial Brewery, one of the best
Yeah.
breweries of all time. Anyway, all we did is we'll get Billy because, you know,
To stitch me up.
well, that's exactly right. No, but before
I was
this,
just in the neighbourhood.
Yeah, right. Wandering along the industrial Port Melbourne with a rose in your hand.
Meant to be living in Paran. Suddenly lives across the street.
But anyway, before we got here, we're in a radio show. We want to get Bill on the show. We got Billy. Anyway, so we're in the studio. There's two rooms.
Oh, yeah.
One at the back, one at the front. Anyway, but so we're sitting down and Bill walks in and he gives us this evil eye. He goes, "You guys have fucking stitched this up, haven't you?" And we're like, "What do you mean, mate?" And he goes, "Look behind you." And there's Flo behind us, Florence.
Yeah.
So the one he's had the
Anyway.
most beef with, I think, at the
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
in
you
the
guys
show.
have got
There's a
beef,
lot. There was
though.
just a lot of
I haven't
drama.
actually, I must admit, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
Well,
there's just a
I
lot
need
of
to get up
drama.
to speed.
This
Yeah, well, you know what? Bill
Yeah.
can tell you about that. What went there, mate?
It's just a lot of drama.
So had they deliberately invited her knowing there was tension between
Well,
you?
that's what I thought
Let's
they
be
had.
clear.
We haven't
Okay,
actually
okay.
let Bill ever at
And
this
we're
point.
not even live air yet. We're sitting
Right.
there and Bill's just giving Bill, like, we've never met Bill before.
I just walked in and go, boys, this
Boys,
is their
There's a
biggest
camera,
stitch-up.
us two are in stitches, and there's Florence in the other room
So
giving
why
him
is there
death,
beef?
death
Have you
look.
and Florence hooked up?
We had before we did this Bachelor in Paradise,
Right.
and then she was just not a nice person on Bachelor in Paradise, and there was a lot
Did
of
you
drama.
think that romance was going to continue in Paradise?
Nah,
Right,
because
right.
it was done and dusted
Right, okay.
back in Melbourne before we went on the show.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And then she gave you the cold shoulder when you were
Oh
over there?
no,
or-
not really. She'd sort of was a bit spiteful about me not giving her a rose and made up a few things to get in the way of mine and someone else's relationship, and then it all sort of hit the fan. But yeah, I've run into her at a few events since, and say hi.
That was incredible.
But that was when I did the show in the studio. That was pretty fresh.
Yeah.
After, and I hadn't really seen her. I'd sort of hadn't
So
really
these
run
boys
into her.
great radio.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
But this is the best part though. We're in the room, right? This is the best part. We're in the room, and Flo is just staring at Bill like
I can
this.
see over
So it was
his
like it
shoulder.
was real.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't being put on.
Not at all. She's in the studio
She's a good
next door,
actor.
and we didn't even realise. We knew about the drama, but it was so long ago. It was the start of the show. Anyway, long story short, she's just staring, and usually she just goes after 5 minutes when her show finishes. But she stayed for the full 45 for Bill.
And I mean, the eyes piercing
give you a mouthful?
over the shoulder.
Well, this is what happened. On my Bill hanging here, mate. She's about to go, and on the way out, she's staring at Bill, knocks on the window with a pair of scissors. We're going live and points at Bill with this one. Bang, bang, bang. And we're live on air.
Not a word of a lie. I was like in the middle of talking about something. It was like, this is a bit off-putting.
If you listen to the podcast back, we're all talking, it just stops.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah, what is
and
happening?
You all just start bursting out laughing. You just
So obviously
Was
Bill's
she
upset.
hamming it up, or was she?
I think she was hamming.
Right.
She was a little bit. To
Yeah.
her defence,
But we're live on air, and we didn't know how much beef there was.
She actually walked in. Like I was mid-conversation. She opened the door and she's like, well, I'm like,
And there's
we're
millions of
live on
listeners.
air.
And now you're back for more. You're a glutton for punishment.
Actually, Flo, just come out.
Imagine that would be the stitch up a long time. Take two.
Ali should accept my rose, mate.
So are you a single man these days?
I am.
You are?
Single,
Right.
You're coming next Saturday, mate.
Yeah, I heard there's a singles night down in Colonial.
Yeah,
We'll be there. We'll be floating around, just making
We'll
sure
be
everyone's
interviewing.
hooking up with each
How
other.
good is this
Cupids,
place?
you can be Cupids.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been here before?
No, never
Neither
been
has
here.
Sammy. Great venue, isn't
Just
it?
saying,
it's awesome.
when I was scheduled to come down and chat to you boys, which I was very excited about,
Yeah, I know you were.
and you said we're now at Colonial Brewery. I thought,
What were you expecting?
I'd never heard of this place. I've heard about this place
Couple of
5
beer
times in the last week. Friend from work went to a concert here last night, said it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like when you're looking at buying a car and you see that car on the
Yeah.
road.
Oh,
Exactly,
that
that
is
is exactly it. Spot on.
So
Yeah.
true. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. So you'll be here next Saturday night?
I'm going to Bali tomorrow, actually. So no, I won't be
tan.
here, actually. I'm there for 15 days, so away.
Now, boys,
Tough gig.
got
Unfortunately.
you guys together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The producers, tell me how they played. They play you.
It'd be
Tell us a
interesting if
bit more
we
about
had the
it.
same.
Yeah.
opinion
That's why I
on
want to
it.
have you guys in here today.
Because I think, Bill, your rendition of what went on has been publicised the most after the show.
Yeah.
And if I don't know how Sam feels about the same way, it's obviously two different
Yes.
sides of the story.
Yeah.
How was it for you, I suppose?
Well, they're very good at what they do, and I'd had no experience on TV previous, so yeah, I was sort of a bit of over my head doing it all, and they got me to do a few things that I wouldn't normally do.
This is the thing that and I don't mean this critically, but
Here we go.
the reality is we're adults and we're
Yeah.
still in control of what we do and what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
might,
right.
after a few beers,
Yeah.
suggest that something's a good idea, but you still have to be the person to do it. Or
There was
to
a lot
say
of
it.
things that I said no to as well.
Yeah, right.
They were pushing me to confront people, and I was like,
So I think
like-
it's very different
Yeah.
because for me,
they won the drama aspect
it's
for
not
me.
my.
Yeah.
They don't want the Bachelor to be
He doesn't want any drama.
provocative.
Yeah.
That's why it's a
They
different
want him
side.
to hopefully meet someone and fall in love.
Yeah.
For me, it was. I mean, there was natural drama there in my season due to the different girls, and I'm sure there was. I mean, there was so much I hadn't even seen until I watched the show when it aired.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's happening in the mansion between the girls, and you're
Yeah.
off on a date somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was only a few kind of big, blow-ups that happened with me being involved or while I was at the mansion and girls got in fights with each other or whatever it was that I kind of got to witness firsthand. But, so I found the producers great.
But that's the Bachelor in Paradise difference. That's
Well,
made
Bachelor in
for-
Paradise,
that's
I think,
created.
is like the
Right,
Bachelor
they-
on steroids. That's
Yeah.
got to be.
They
that's
want the
gotta be.
whole
Yeah, totally.
chaos.
That's literally.
And they-
let's bring the most provocative personalities from past seasons together, and we just sit back with the cameras rolling, and shit's going to blow up.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And there's a lot of more alcohol involved in
Yeah,
Paradise.
yeah.
Because I guess you're on a holiday, really.
There's a
aren't
lot
you?
of egos and a lot
Yeah.
of, a lot of
They do.
personality clashes and
Yeah, they do. They're very strategic in who they cast for that show.
Yeah.
They obviously get the bigger personalities,
Yeah.
the ones that are, sort of confrontational and cause that drama.
Did you get on well with everyone, or did you with the other guys in Bachelor and Battles? Did you clash?
There's a few there that I didn't really get along with, but they were from my season of the Bachelorette, so I already knew that I didn't get along with them.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I'm pretty cool with not everyone liking me. That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch
that's
it
fine.
back?
That's fine. Yeah.
You watch these episodes back though yourself, and obviously you can't see what other people are talking about when they're on the camera by themselves. You just know what's going on in the moment.
Yeah.
And you watch it back and you go, I can't believe that bloke was talking shit about me.
It must happen.
And you got to have a bit of perspective in the fact that you don't know how it's been edited. You don't know
It's like Bachelor meets Survivor.
It is.
Let's bring them together and
Survival of the fittest.
have all these spin-offs.
There's alcohol drinking.
But it keeps me entertained. So
with you being the Bachelor, you know how you said there was a bit of few confrontations with the girls and that. Could you directly see that the producers sort of set that up and put those things into motion to make that happen, or do you think it was more just naturally happened?
Well, not. I mean, you don't see any of that.
Yeah.
I think it would be naive to think that perhaps they hadn't, ignited a few fires. But at the same time, I often think it was most people's true personalities just coming out that would have happened eventually anyway. They might fast track it because you're only filming for a certain amount of time, but it really, to me, I think comes down to the casting.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's genius if you want to look at it that way, but they know exactly. They want Jeopardy, and Jeopardy is a beautiful romance where they don't know who's going to be picked, or Jeopardy is certain people with personality clashes where they don't know what explosion's going to take place. And both of those make great TV. I mean, this is what you learn retrospectively. I didn't know any of this before I went on The Bachelor, but it's a pretty steep learning curve into what TV's all about. I've never done any TV.
You're thrown in the deep end.
So like even doing stuff like this today with you guys, you feel so comfortable after the learning curve you've been on over a couple of years.
Sure. Do you? On the first night when you meet all the girls, do you have an earpiece in telling you a bit about the girls and the names? You got to remember all their names.
That's impressive.
Are they on like, what's that? I'm not sure what that TV show is, but
Unreal.
That's it, Unreal. They have the names of the players, and then obviously the heads of the names.
I reckon they do have that.
You know why?
They might behind the scenes.
In the control room.
You don't see that.
Do you know where the practice might have come from? Like, to be good at that, because I reckon it helped me with it years later was the gecko stuff with all the kids and remembering kids' names. That's one thing I always used to think you were amazing at.
I said that. I reckon learning 25 kids' names for a birthday party when you only know them for an hour and a half was the best practice. Sounds so weird.
That is great.
For sure.
I remember sitting there going, there's 25 kids he's never met before. How does he know all their names and that? But it's just the way you keep repeating.
It's not just the names, it's which state they're from, what do they do for a job, how old are they, what was the couple of key things they told you. Because what you don't want to do is every time you sit down with one of the girls is start from scratch. Because then you never actually get to know that person.
Yeah, you're having the same conversation.
So you have to pick up, if you got to 20%, you have to pick up from 20% to get to know that person better and break those barriers down. Otherwise you're like, I might say goodbye to that person and not actually give myself a proper opportunity to get to know them. So it's kind of in your best interest to stay sharp as you can. Easier said than done.
Did you write like a journal or anything to keep track of it all?
No, not really. We'd always, the guys that were taking care of me, we'd always have a bit of a debrief once I got back to my place, and that kind of kept things fresh in your head. But because it's when you're the Bachelor, because you're doing something every single day.
It's very fast paced.
Whereas I remember saying to Snez, like Snez was going stir crazy. She's like, I see you and then I might not see you for 7 days. And we're sitting around and we've got no internet, we're not allowed to watch TV, we're not allowed to listen to radio because we're not meant to know what's going on in the outside world. So there's only so much Netflix and so many workouts and so many Snickers bars and the pool you can do before you go a bit nuts. Which is what they want. Obviously, the crazier their environment, the more provocative things are going to explode. But
look, I've put my hand up. Obviously, when they're looking for a 25-year-old, 4'5" footy nuffy, then they'll be me.
What about your missus? I just told me we have to do it.
No, we put it on the business now.
We'll edit that bit out.
Gee, well, that was good. Now, boys, what I want to know is, you had to find time for Ali, right? How was it trying to find time fighting other guys to get the time to actually, introduce yourself or, get some more time with Ali? How did that operate?
Yeah,
What'd you do? Were you just sort of shepherd in there hard? Or?
I got real lucky in the fact that on the first cocktail party, which is crazy, you're getting to meet all the boys and it's bloody mayhem.
Yeah.
She chose me for the Wild Rose, which guaranteed me a single date. So that sort of made
Took the pressure
a
off.
lot easier. Obviously, the first rose ceremony, I already had a rose, so I didn't sit there fretting, going, "What if I get sent home the first
so
night?"
you knew so for that.
So that was really comforting and sort of a blessing. I don't know if it's a blessing or like a bad thing that happened, because as soon as I got that rose, all the other boys started targeting me because I was like the biggest threat.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was good in the fact that it settled the nerves on the first night for sure.
Yeah.
I just find it weird when everyone goes like, "Oh, can I just steal you for a chat?" It's
and
like,
someone's already there.
this
And
is
they come
awkward.
in, like, what happened with you? It's all right.
That's kind of awkward, isn't it? Like,
Gets a bit chaotic.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I mean, you just handle it the best that you can.
Yeah.
It all sort of works its way out. That the show's going to go for as long as it goes for. You don't need to sort of rush it. I mean, it got hard at times where I'd want to spend more time with Snez, and you sort of have to do the right thing and spend time with everyone. But yeah, it was okay. It all sort of sorts itself out. What do you guys think of the new Bachelor?
Well, let's talk about that actually. Taylor wants to bring something up about the new guy.
well, actually, I was doing a bit of research. They were saying that he's a NAB worker, not an astrophysicist.
Yeah,
Can
what's
someone
going on
confirm
there?
this to me? Has anyone met him
He
yet?
apparently lives in Richmond.
I've met him,
Oh, what do you reckon?
He's a ripping guy.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah. He seems really good on the show. He's perfect.
He's
to show
super
us.
smart.
Yeah.
He's very normal.
Yeah.
He's on it for the right reasons.
That's good.
That's perfect.
He's not trying to be famous.
I suppose having the honey badger before that, it's kind of, he's already like a name and a celebrity. And so that kind of,
I think they're
that
gonna go
taints
back
it a little bit with who's going to be on and what they're on for and the reasons. So it's good, it's refreshing to
I
have
think
someone new.
I think they are going to go back to just getting fresh
Yeah,
people.
which they should though.
Well, what's in it? The public love that.
Yeah,
See
being someone new.
Finally, a normal guy. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a bit like, hang on a second, this becomes a bit of a mockery of the whole situation if that person's already really famous. So, he's a really nice fella.
Have you guys met the honey badger before?
No, I've never met him.
I've never met him either. no.
He's an enigma. He's out in the outback somewhere.
He went a bit.
Running around with a spear.
He went a bit MIA after.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think everyone's sports bet accounts say crack the sads because everyone was betting on the honey badger and he didn't pick anyone. So
Yeah, gee whiz.
Do you get your money back?
It is crazy you can bet on. I remember how many of my friends were like,
I think I did actually.
tell me who wins. I'm like, I'm not telling you. Mate, you can bet on this.
It's like
I get that.
Snez is paying $1.90, I reckon, at one stage.
Oh, she's
How
longer.
early on did you know that Snez was the one?
Oh, pretty early. I mean, you
First
still.
couple of weeks or so?
Yeah. I mean, she's pretty special.
She stands out big time. Yeah. Look at him. He's in
Pretty
love,
cool.
man. He's really cool.
I've never watched a whole series of any of them.
Really?
Ever.
Before you jumped on?
Before I jumped on, it's even my series with Ali. I still haven't watched the last 4 episodes because I went to Fiji to start filming the next one.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I do actually remember. Did you have a single date with Snez out in? It was like a picnic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
There we go.
That's here we are. It's literally so bizarre because I've never really sat down and watched the whole series. Sorry, mate.
On a hot air balloon.
Oh.
Was that in the Yarra Valley? No. Or was that?
No, it was in Sydney,
It's
mate.
up in
It was in
Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah, up in Sydney.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Hunter Valley.
Hunter Valley. One of the valleys.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh, dear.
Now, just a quick little topic change.
Sure.
AFL Grand Final, who's going to win?
The
And who's
West
gonna be there?
Coast Tides, and I reckon Tides.
And Brownlow, who do you think first of all?
Yeah, it's a good one, actually.
Brownlow.
That's tough. You asked me.
Can Fife still win it?
So,
Can Fife still win it? Is that you rubbed out?
I don't know about 5. You go for the Hawks.
Maybe
don't you?
Bontempelli.
Oh, okay, that's a good pick.
I can bet on
Billy Boy?
I reckon Pies West Coast again.
Yep. Again, Pies reckon they'll sneak in.
You Pies?
No, I'm Carlton.
right.
We're going all right though. I'm a bit more interested
Hey,
in footy
they're
since we've been
better.
going all
These
right.
are coming good.
And I reckon West Coast win again. And I reckon
Paddy Cripps.
I was about to say Paddy Cripps.
You know
You
what?
took the words out of my mouth.
If Paddy Cripps, if they start winning some games, he can poll 3 votes in the losing game.
him.
He's a weapon.
He's
Love
a
him.
And he could
So
take
tough,
he could take
so
$1 million anywhere else.
Yeah.
Keep position dedicated to
midfielder.
captaincy, Carlton. This is where I'm going to be. I think
Yeah.
it's
Easy going.
credit
Yeah,
to
when he
him
did
for a
that
young
the other year, when they were like, "Oh, why don't you leave and go somewhere else?" He's like, "Nah, I like to build it from the ground
Is that
up."
which
Especially
is
being
solid.
a Western Australian boy.
Yeah.
Imagine the money of him go back to.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
I
how tall
rate
is
that.
he? Is he as tall as you guys?
He's
taller.
He's taller.
And he's a midfielder.
This is it.
That's
Massive,
insane.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
Massive, yeah.
Well,
They weigh about 95 kegs as well. It's
Oh,
like a
yeah,
big
lean meat
dude.
fighting machine.
He's hard to tackle.
Oh yeah, really
He's a
hard to
beast.
tackle.
He's a
Yeah.
beast.
Well, boys, thank you very much for coming on the show, lads. Cheers, boys.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you very
baby.
much. Cheers to
Good to meet
Colonial.
you.
too, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. On your
Thanks,
boys.
boys.
Best
Cheers.
show in the world.
Always a
Thanks,
pleasure.
boys.